I recently had an influx of new subscribers across Instagram and YouTube and wherever. And I thought it would be a good idea to do a quick video about what exactly primary and secondary is. Because if you're just looking at it through the eyes of Instagram, you might not be aware of there is a website, there's a forum, there are Facebook groups, there is a podcast, there is YouTube, all kinds of things available. So primary and secondary started in 2014. I was tired of gun groups, so I created my own. And basically what I did is I took a lot of gun industry buddies, instructors, military, law enforcement, you name it, and forced them against their will into this Facebook group and turned them into moderators. And what that wound up doing is that that gave us a lot of clout when it came to enforcing rules, but it really gave a lot of clout when it came to the level of information, because there were known entities giving free advice just out there. So someone would ask a question in the Facebook group, and a well-known instructor or industry person would come by and provide the insight. It's awesome. Additionally, we actually had rules and enforced them. So we didn't want to waste people's time. We needed to get to the point. What I wanted to hear was the why behind things. I can go on Google and find out what, but I want to know why. I want to know why if someone asks, what's the best handgun, and you just say Glock, I want to know why you said Glock, because Google is going to tell me Glock is one of the best, but only you can tell me the details as to why you personally have found that. And my stance on things have definitely changed, and the way I run the groups have definitely changed. It's become a bit more, I guess, lack of a better word, soft, but it's mostly because I want to hear input from everyone, because it doesn't matter what your background is. If you have something to say and you're going to back it up and you're going to explain yourself, I want to hear it, because there's a possibility we have some new gun owner that might experience something or have some insight that I'd never thought of or someone else didn't think of. And if you don't share it, we'll never hear it. So I don't really care what your background is. If you have the secrets of the universe, I want to hear them. So we have this Facebook group, started in 14. Then I opened up more Facebook groups and I treated it like an old school forum. As a Gen Xer, forums at the time were a wonderful way to share ideas, learn new concepts. So I have a sniper group, I have a prep group, I have you name it, and kind of treating it like an old school forum. And about 2016, we were up late at night, the moderators in a Facebook chat, and someone was telling some stories about experiences and insights and whatnot. And it might have been Chuck Pressburg that was telling the story. And we were talking about how, man, it would be wonderful if we could get this kind of information out to the public. These stories are fantastic. And so someone said, well, why don't we do a podcast? So February of 2016, I decided, we'll just do a podcast. And I named it Modcast because the panel completely consisted of primary and secondary moderators. For the first year, they didn't have any direction. That's what I'm trying to say. They had no direction. They kind of went all over the place. After a year, we kind of honed in and had topics. Additionally, that first year, the first month, we did one every night, and they were hours long. And so we went from an hour to 8 hours without any real direction. But the cool thing about it is, if you've ever been to professional training and you go to dinner with the instructor afterwards, some of the stories, some of the insights, that really provides a highlight for the whole experience. Well, these podcasts are basically that experience every night with every episode. And there's so much great information, even on the ones where you might click on it, have no expectation, and you walk away with some insights on some concepts that you didn't have any clue that this was even going to be addressed, because that's how it was going into these. I'd start them. Hey, well, Chuck's available and Rick's available and Ash is available. Let's see where this takes us. And it takes us somewhere really, really good. And sometimes they're just plain hilarious, but most of the time, even as funny as they can be, the insights shared are just priceless. And though some of them are well over 10 years, the insights still are priceless. There's no expiration date on them. So a year in, I decided to put some focus on them. And so then we had set panels, we had set topics, and we still have tangents. And I still encourage people, take that tangent, because I don't want to upset the natural flow of the discussion, because some of the best discussions came from just that natural meandering of a discussion. So we have a podcast. The podcast is on YouTube. We used to have a larger YouTube channel with a lot more videos, and YouTube killed it last November, 2025. Oh, what was it? About a month ago, maybe a month and a half, 2 months ago, started a new channel, Primary, Secondary Resurrection. A lot of old content is on there, and I'm still trying to restore it, but also our new videos are on there, and our new podcasts are on there. Also, if you're an audio podcast listener and you don't want to watch it on video, basically your favorite audio podcast app has Primary and Secondary Modcast. And it goes back to, I want to say, I know it does not have every episode from number 1 to about 80-ish. But from 80 to 461, that's on the audio. That's on all the audio apps for podcasts. Also on Instagram, also on X, also on Threads, on Facebook, primaryandsecondary.com, primaryandsecondary.com/forum. The idea behind having the forum is I know for a fact Facebook is going to axe all of us. And I just wanted to have a place to keep that network going. But that's pretty much in a nutshell. Basically, what I've tried to do is make this resource that focuses on guns, gear, training, mindset, and provide it to the public for free. Nothing's behind a paywall. There are a couple little tiny things that are behind a paywall, but they're nothing that's overly educational. I'm going to say my favorite thing, and I say it with every podcast, or at least I try to. Make sure you, the listener or the viewer, make sure that you are supporting those sources that you have found to be beneficial. That doesn't have to be primary and secondary. That can be anything that you found to be beneficial. So if you like a video or something that's released, you should be hitting like. If that video or whatever it is shares an insight that was especially beneficial to you, it helped you understand something, or it might help others understand it, you probably need to share. If you're consistently watching a specific channel and you haven't subscribed, you're doing them a disservice. Because of this, because of these firearms behind me, the algorithm's already working against me. So you, as the listener or the viewer, obviously, in this, it's the viewer, you can artificially manipulate the algorithm by providing likes, providing shares, and subscriptions. Primary and secondary has never been a big, huge mainstream thing. It's been very niche and very focused, but very focused on reality. There's been a huge push with understanding terminal ballistics. We had last year, I think it was last year, huge push with better understanding of law enforcement concepts. Basically, when I see things that are greatly misunderstood, or if I see trends on various social media pages, if I determine, this is something worth talking about, or if it's something that I want to talk about, it's something I want to learn about, I'm going to do a podcast episode about it. So I want to be a useful means of providing good information. With that in mind, likes, shares, comments are also very, very helpful. But that doesn't necessarily just go with primary and secondary. It goes with any resource. But if you do have an idea for a podcast episode, I most likely have, and if it's focused on those topics, guns, gear, mindset, training, put in a comment, send me a message. Most likely I have the right panel that I can assemble. And that's how I go about it too, is I figure out what are we going to discuss? Who are the right people to discuss it? And bam, podcast. I wish it were that easy. Getting the panel together is like herding cats, and it's a pain in the ass. But that's pretty much it. That is primary and secondary. So it is, people have asked, what exactly is it? So it's been referred to as a think tank, which I like that because it kind of is, because we have some absolute amazing experts in their fields that are able to help provide insightful information that helps others. But I don't know, it's social media, it's videos, it's podcasts, all kinds of things. So yeah, if you like what you're seeing so far, the long form podcasts are wonderful. We have covered so many topics. Check out the catalog, see if there's something that applies to you, something that might pique your interest. The panelists are usually absolutely amazing. And a lot of times, one of my favorite things to say, especially on the topic, is, so if it's a topic that I'm not overly well versed in, I'm happy to just say, look, I'm going to sit this one out and I'm just going to listen, or I'm going to be the everyman and ask the questions the listeners might be thinking of, because I don't have anything meaningful to contribute, because it's outside the scope of my experience or my knowledge. But yeah, that is pretty much it. I think I'm going to stop talking now so I can upload this. So yeah, comments, like, share, all that kind of stuff. We'll talk to you later.